How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. We have news that the SEC and Binance US just struck a deal that was approved by a judge. The SEC is kind of playing ball now, which is interesting right after BlackRock came into the market. So I want to talk about that. I also want to talk about some news that's not so fun to talk about, but Sam Bankman-Fried may be walking free, never having to step foot in a jail cell. So let's talk about that. If you don't mind, hit subscribe, turn on that bell notification underneath the video that's right next to the subscribe button so that way you can see future videos just like this. Maybe hit the like, comment down in the comment section. What do you think about the market this week? And let's get into it. As you can see, Bitcoin is looking pretty good, up at 26,400, 26,500, depending on where you're looking. The whole market is up about 4%. Everything's doing well today. Now, some cryptos obviously moving up faster than others. Let's take a look at the last 24 hours. You can see Sui up 18.5%. I saw this, that Pepe's up 10% too. Apto's up 14%. So some of the riskier cryptos, some of the smaller cryptos kind of running. We've been seeing a lot of exuberance in the traditional markets. Now we're seeing a little bit more coming to the crypto market. And we did see dominance go up over the last few days, especially with some of the news that a lot of altcoins would be delisted. You can see going from about 48,000, 49,000 over the last few days, now up to almost 50%. So big moves here on dominance. Now, there was some good news that was struck recently. We know, what was it, a week and a half ago or so, the SEC came against Binance, tried to freeze their assets. Now, as of just a few minutes ago, this was approved by the judge. So Binance and the SEC strike a deal to move all U.S. customer funds wallet keys back onshore. So they say Binance US, and the SEC late Friday announced a deal to ensure that only Binance US employees can access customer funds in the short term. According to the proposed agreement, which still needs sign off from the federal judge overseeing the case, which it just came in that he has approved it, Binance US will take steps to make sure that no officials from Binance Holdings, the global exchange, have access to private keys for wallets or hardware wallets, or root access to Binance US's Amazon Web Services tool. The US-based crypto trading platform will share detailed information about its business expenses, including estimated costs, in the coming weeks. The proposed deal responds to an SEC motion to freeze all of Binance US's assets while it pursues the exchange on security-related charges. This does not mean that Binance US is out of the woods yet. They still have all these related charges, but it does mean that the SEC is willing to work with them, willing to negotiate and come to a mutually beneficial outcome. So it sounds like Binance US is also willing to show what's behind the curtain a little bit. But this does give the SEC a lot more access to their finances, which will be interesting to see if they actually did get money from Binance, if they have been commingling funds and that kind of thing. They said that freezing all assets would amount to a death penalty. So the good news is that Binance US customers should still have access to their crypto for the foreseeable future. At some point, that could always change, right? If the SEC wins this, and then, I don't know, if it's too devastating to Binance US, or if they really do find something sketchy is going on behind the scenes and they're able to bring that out in court, then I'm sure that the judge would be willing to freeze their assets. But as of now, I think this is pretty good news. I think it's good news that the SEC did not win this, did not win the ability to freeze all their assets just on a whim. And it's also good news for Binance US customers. I think it's good news for all of crypto too. It basically delays what's happening here, which this could take a long time. This court case could take a long time. Now, it will be interesting to see, does the SEC line up on crypto in general as BlackRock's coming into the space? Do they let up off the exchanges or off the cryptos themselves? Bigger US-based companies are coming into the space. Maybe they don't go after specific cryptos or specific teams or anything like that. People that did some of these ICOs, maybe they just go after the exchanges to make way for the bigger companies like BlackRock. Speaking of exchanges, Sam Bankman-Fried obviously ran FTX, and the feds quietly dropped 5 charges against SBF today. The rest will be a plea bargain, according to a source close to the matter. So this is obviously really interesting. There's some rumors that basically the people behind the scenes don't want him to actually go to jail, spend any jail time, and they're just going to continue to push this out further and further. Delay, drop, bargain, and then he'll never have to step foot in a jail cell. I don't know about you, but I think this is disgusting. I think he should spend a lot of time in jail, most likely. That would be what he deserves. Of course, I don't know all the details, but from what we can see, it does seem like he is a psychopath, a sociopath, and does not care about other people's well-being and is willing to do just about anything. I would not want this guy back in the U.S. business ecosystem. Now, there are a couple things I want to cover on the week ahead, but first, let's just take a look at the market overall right now. Tether back at $1, so the Tether FUD is gone. That actually marked a bottom over the last few days. We also have the news that we were just talking about, SEC and Binance now working together to come to a resolution, which is good. So that FUD about frozen assets is gone right now. We do have some forced selling of altcoins, but BlackRock is coming in, or trying to come in, and trying to set up this Bitcoin ETF. The whole market, the traditional market, is looking better. It's pretty much pricing in one, maybe two more rate hikes, but probably just one at the next Fed meeting. But keep in mind that those dot plots that the Fed gave, or the terminal rate that they gave, was before the most recent data. It was from the Friday before the Fed meeting, which we did get CPI and PPI the day before and the day of the Fed meeting. And they both came in lower than expected. Some had revisions down. We do have some news coming next week as well. So not this coming week, but the week after. On the 30th, we'll get the PCE, so be on the lookout for that. Again, not this week, but the week after. And this week, we do have the market closed on Monday, just so you know that ahead of time. Now, what I'm trying to get at here is that the market is looking pretty good, honestly. When you look at all the FUD, I talked about this a lot yesterday, but when you look at all the FUD that came out and all the bad news, it's not been really FUD at some point. It's just bad news that has come out, and the SEC going after crypto. I mean, look at us, 26,500. Pretty great when you consider at the beginning of the year we're at 15.5. This market is looking pretty resilient. I'm pretty excited. I'm glad that I picked up a lot of Bitcoin this bear market, but let me know your thoughts on this underneath the video. Thank you so much for watching. Give me your thoughts and opinions about Binance and SEC now working together to find a resolution, and what do you think about Sam Bankman-Fried?